Okay, so reflecting on that debate, how did you feel it went?
I felt it was a good opportunity to get across some of my positive views on why we should stay in Europe, and I felt there was a proportion of the audience who were listening and a proportion of the audience who weren't, so it's always the same. But I think a couple of good points came across, and so if somebody genuinely came undecided, I think it would have helped them towards making their decision.
And in general, with community debates, I'm sure this is not the only one you've been to in this campaign. What is the importance of those debates to have?
I think they're really important. Thinking back, we used to have a lot of hustings-style debates for general elections, for local elections, and they've completely gone out of fashion because we've all got used to watching the TV, doing social media, etc. And now in this referendum, the town hall debates come back, and I think it's a really, really good thing, and I really enjoy doing them. I really enjoy meeting people. I'm an MEP. I spend 4 days a week in Brussels or Strasbourg, so it's no bad thing 8 o'clock on a Saturday night to be talking to my constituents in North Devon. So in that sense, I think it's a really good thing. I think if we're going to resurrect the town hall debate, we're all going to have to learn how to behave and to make sure that people have the space to make their views heard, even though we may not agree with them. And that when you contradict someone, you're not being abusive or difficult, you're simply saying, I have a different view and this is the evidence for my view. I think we could get that back into politics and it would be a really good thing.
I think there's definitely a general misunderstanding about what MEPs do. As we saw in the debate, that maybe that's why people were so hostile, because they just don't understand what goes on at the European Parliament. So briefly, would you be able to explain just what the function of MEPs are?
Well, I am elected by 5.5 million people in the southwest. I sit in the European Parliament, which has 751 MEPs from all the different member states, and we have an important role in legislation. So we are the co-legislators with the member states, with the council, which is the representatives of the elected government. So they're appointed, it's true, but by the elected governments, and we're actually directly elected. And between us, we make the rules. It's as simple as that.
Right. And finally, we are obviously, young people perhaps didn't get a chance to speak tonight, perhaps were a bit disengaged.
A few did.
A few did. And in the general debate across the country, many young people feel that their voices aren't being heard, me included. So what would you say the EU means to young people, and how important is this referendum for young people?
Well, it strikes me that younger people are much more open-minded. They're much more willing to look at the EU critically, but from the point of view of, okay, how can we go forward? What can we get out of this? What are the positive things, rather than looking for the negatives? Now, I don't know if that's just a function of age. I don't think so, because there are lots of positive people my age as well. So, but I think young people teach us that we really should make sure that we keep looking for the positives. And why would a young person who's just setting out in their life, if you're thinking about this EU debate, why would they simply accept when a bunch of people 20, 30, 40 years older tell them that everything that's wrong is because of the EU? Because actually, logically, they're not stupid. They can see that's not the case. It's a good old whipping boy. Young people are much too clever. They know that. And I think there are things that the EU does, particularly on the environment, particularly on foreign aid, on things like asylum seekers, where the EU is trying to come up with policies to solve the problem rather than just railing against it. And I think that's what young people find attractive about the EU, and I think there's a lot of basis there for going forward, if we vote to stay.
Thank you very much, Julia.